Um, I love when I be getting lost in my own thoughts. My conversation is just so interesting, all by myself, and it be so insightful and enlightening because I be like trying to figure shit out, like about this reality, like why things the way they are, right? And so, what I got from that so important, and that's what our boundaries. It's 2025, so I'm 41. I just got to do the math. I was 40. I didn't hear of the term boundaries, and I didn't understand it until a year and a half ago. Okay, like I was 40 years old and I didn't know what boundaries were, and I didn't know how important they are. Like, you hear the term, you got to set boundaries. Like, what that mean? Like, I need the yellow cones and the orange cones that they use in the gyms and playing sports and games to set on the floor around me. Like, is that a boundary? Like, what the fuck is a boundary? Like, oh my god. And I was having a conversation with myself about what are boundaries to me, and when did I begin identifying them and realizing, that this is how you set a boundary, right? I had to write that shit down, like, because I was like getting confused in my head about what it really was. And it's just like, it's so many little caveats to boundaries, right? Like, but in the basic sense is what you gonna take and right. It could be, or it can be relationship wise, or it can just be general living life wise, right? I hope this doesn't go over your head, but it makes absolute sense, because once you set boundaries, your whole life will change. Like, that's the whole point. All the messages is how to change your life for the better, okay? And boundaries are so important. This is how you heal yourself, right? This is the answer. This is the trick. Setting boundaries is how you heal yourself in so many ways. Okay, so boundaries be like, I ain't taking this and I ain't taking that, but I'll take this, as long as you're not harming and hurting no one else. How do you know if you're harming or hurting someone else? You ask them. Like, it's what the fuck you doing oppressing me as a being? Like, I don't like it. I don't like it, okay? So you set boundaries. But boundaries being set can be difficult. It can be very difficult because it is the armor and the protection for your emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical health. That is what boundaries are for. Your own protection. As long as you being your best version, right? Which is a kind human being that cannot harm or hurt anyone else. Because if you ask them and they be like, I don't like that shit, then you're trying to dominate, right? And that's not cool, right? Like, who the fuck are you? So, boundaries have to be set, and they require change on your part, right? If the person or situation is happening and you don't like the feeling that's coming to your physical, someone's trying to assault you, someone's saying ruthless words to you, like, you being in that situation, you're in an employment where you feel disrespected because they're not honoring your worth, with that stupid ass salary that's not making you happy. So you stay in situations that don't make you feel good, right? Because these are real life situations where people are physically harming one another, mentally or physically or emotionally, being narcissistic, mean, tyrants, whatever. This is how you are crossing someone else's boundaries because the person on the receiving end is feeling a low vibration. They're not feeling good. They don't like it. And guess what? They don't got to like your bullshit. They don't got to take it. But it requires change of you walking away from that situation, from that job, or from that relationship. Otherwise, you have just set the boundary that you will tolerate this bullshit, stay in a low vibration, complain about it, and be in a cycle because you didn't change the situation if the situation isn't respecting your boundaries, because they are trying to harm your physical armor, your spiritual armor, your emotional armor. Okay, your mental armor. So you set a boundary at that point by not changing a situation because you don't like the way it feels to the core of your soul. So you're staying in that situation means you set the boundary that you tolerate that bullshit. But you can set that boundary and be like, I'm not tolerating that bullshit, and I'm going to walk away. I'm going to leave this job. I'm going to leave this relationship. I'm going to leave this environment. I don't like it. It don't make me feel good. That's setting boundaries. Okay? When something is trying to attack your mental, your physical, your spiritual, okay? When something is trying to attack it, your soul is saying, hey, we don't like that shit. What you going to do about it? Right? Because you're crying, because you're in physical pain, because you're in emotional pain. Your soul like, what we gonna do now? Like, you don't like this shit. Hello, look at you. You crying. You don't like what's happening right now. What you gonna do? That's what your soul say to you. So you got to set a boundary and be like, you know what? I'm worthy. Fuck this relationship. I'm worthy. Fuck this job. I'm going to be all right because guess what? I believe in myself. That's how you set a boundary. You don't tolerate no bullshit from no one, especially when you ain't harming no one and you just being your best self, right? So you going to get that same energy back by people that respect you. In situations that don't respect you, walk away. That's setting a boundary. It requires change and that shit is hard. Yes, it is. But if you want your life to be better, if you want to feel better, if you want to experience more, you have to set boundaries on what you're going to take and what you're not going to take. But you got to know who you are to set that boundary, right? Are you going to take it or are you going to walk away? Who are you? You worthy of this ass whooping? You worthy of this mistreatment? You worthy of this disrespect? Or are you better than that? You fucking gods and goddesses, and then we been taught to be put in these little ass boxes and we forgot and we don't even know ourselves. So we didn't have any boundaries, but we got to have boundaries. If we love ourselves, we got to have boundaries for everyone, for your children, for your partner, for everyone. Boundaries is not negative. It's good for you because it's your protection. If you're a wonderful person, guess what? You want to treat people wonderfully. And you know when someone or a situation is not treating you wonderfully, your red flags going off like, what the fuck is going on? I don't like that. I won't tolerate that. I'm going to do something about that. Because nah. These are boundaries. Okay? And we have to set them. Which means we got to be honest with ourselves on how we are feeling at any given moment, at any given time, that doesn't feel good. We got to pay attention to what is this that doesn't feel good, right? Like, I don't like this. I don't like this not feeling good. What is this? Oh, is it this relationship? Is it this career? Is my children running all over me? Is where I am just depressing me? What's this feeling? Let me see. Why am I still sitting in this feeling that feels like shit? I'm going to pack my bags and go. Or I'm just going to go. Or I'm just going to quit. Or I'm just going to be honest and tell the people around me, look, I don't like this shit. I'm not going to talk about you behind your back. I'm going to tell you in your face, I don't like this. So you could change this behavior if it's disrespecting me, or you could not. And I'm just going to depart from this relationship, from this job, from this situation, from this environment. That's setting boundaries or knowing who the fuck you are. That's how we change the world, friends. By paying attention to yourself and taking the focus off of other people in a way that really doesn't matter because it don't feel good to you. It don't feel good to you, but you taking it. Like, focus on you. And hey, I don't like this thing that doesn't feel good. So I'm gonna change what I'm doing, and I'm gonna change where I'm at, and I'm just gonna change the situation because I don't like this negative feeling. So I need to be in a happier space. So anything that's negative, I don't want no part of that. I gotta do something about that to protect my well-being, my emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical health at all times, right? So setting boundaries is constantly maintaining that specific guidance of prioritizing yourself all the time. And then you're just happy. I mean, then you're just happy all the time because you're respecting yourself and you're honoring yourself by maintaining peace within. Okay? This is how important boundaries are. And when I heard of it, you know, a year and a half ago, it was like the fucking cure to all of my dis-ease. Right? Setting boundaries has taught me so much about myself on what I will tolerate and won't tolerate that fucks with my energy. I gotta not talk to people. I gotta cut out friends and family members. And ooh, I don't want that in my energy. And I am very grateful to myself because I'm just feeling amazing. That's what boundaries will do for you. They will put you in a high vibration when you set them. So you're honoring yourself constantly on what you're going to take and what you're not going to take. And it's okay. I love the whole world. Let me tell you, I love the entire planet. I send the enemy's prayers, okay, for their soul. I don't have to laugh and shoot the shit with everybody because everybody energy ain't talking about my energy. So like, and that's okay. I'm talking about healing you because I done healed myself and I be feeling pretty fucking amazing. And because God like literally took over my brain and I gotta preach goodness. I mean, I ain't mad. You know, I like peace and love. So it's always how to get better, how to get better, how to get better, how to share this information so it can be consumable, right? Because it's about changing lives. Like, I don't give a fuck to talk about nothing else. Nothing else is that important. Not sports. not fucking whatever big distractions they got, blockbuster premieres and all this stupid bullshit illusions, right? Like, oh my God, I don't want to talk about nothing else because God has filled my head with spreading peace and love and joy because the fucking humanity's got to wake up, okay? It's 2025. It's the year of 9. It's about awakening and teaching and healing, okay? So I don't want to talk about nothing else. I'm happy I got to, spread God's messages. And I'm always in my head, like having conversations with him on what can we do to help people help themselves. Like, oh my goodness. It's like this major task. And it's so much fun because like, everywhere I go, it's like I get these little nuggets and more insights and I'll be diving into me and I just love myself more and more and more. And I just feel so much peace and I just want to share and share and share and share more of this love so people can find this peace because I travel so much and I meet so many different type of people. But you know what? Everywhere around the world, people are the same in their suffering. It's just a different culture. They speak a different language. They eat different things. All the suffering is the same. They have relationship problems. They have not enoughness. And it all has to do with not setting boundaries. You know, like I was talking to the masseuse, Jane, yesterday, you know, and so lovely. But I already know, just like her thoughts and everybody else's thoughts that aren't in a high vibration, that because you didn't set the boundary with yourself, and even what in fulfilling your passions and your needs to financially be where you want to be, you set the boundary of, I'm tolerating this lifestyle, or this income, or this relationship, even though it doesn't really make me feel like my best. You know, like, it's all about setting boundaries. And this is how you heal yourself, because sometimes we got to let go of things that aren't serving us. We got to let go of the job. It don't matter if you put 18 years in, if it's like suffering your soul daily, is it worth one more year of pension that you think is guaranteed by God, that you're going to wait on your life? You know, because you ain't setting a boundary. You just want to stop this stupid job because it don't make me feel good, or I can do more, or I can do better, because you are such expansive beings that are capable of such fucking awesome shit. Like, we be thinking small because we was taught in a box, so we got boxes, right? And like, we're limitless. We got to set the boundary that it's okay to want to be fucking awesome and shoot for the stars all the time. Like, what? You worthy? Set the boundary, like, nah, I want my life to be like this. I want a fucking S on my chest with a cape. Not because I want to be Superman, because Chanel is my legal name. Just to put that out there. I only ever want to be like myself, okay? I don't want to get it twisted ever. So you got an S on your chest and you like, I want this kind of life. And you know what? You're motherfucking right. You deserve all the greatness that you could ever think of. Why not? So let's start feeling good and heading in that direction. That's your situation. A change to the relationship, a change to the environment. You start loving on yourself enough to pay attention to how you feel, and you focus on making yourself feel good all the time. You ain't harming and you ain't hurting nobody. So, you know, it only makes sense to set these boundaries because it's for your protection. You know, it's for your protection, for your safety, for your alignment. And then you are in a place of knowing that you are worthy, and yep, every single thing that you can ever think of or want is yours. And then it'll be brought to you because, oh, you just finally figured out your worth, because you set boundaries on what you're going to tolerate and what you're not going to tolerate, you know, as your own spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional protection. I mean, what we talk about here? I mean, this is for you. This is for your benefit. And you know what? The benefit of the other person, because no one should be physically harming you. No one should be hurting you. No one should be trying to put you in a box and make you feel small. You know what that feels like. You know what I'm talking about. That thing that be in your chest that you be like, it make you have thoughts of jealousy and judgment and criticism, you know? It make you have thoughts of hate and anger. That don't feel good. So if it don't feel good and you don't like that shit, stop putting up with it. Set the boundary and walk away. Stop doing it. Stop tolerating it. For your protection, for your healing, for your safety. That's what boundaries are for, right? And I am so grateful to have learned that. That shit is so important for just the overall fucking happiness of your life, of your existence. Like, really think about it. In every situation, think about the boundaries that need to be set. Anytime you are angry about something, guess what? You didn't set a boundary. You angry at your neighborhood. You don't like what's going on. You angry with the situation. Guess what? Leave the fucking neighborhood now. Get away. It ain't making you feel good. Don't wait. Don't wait for when you gonna save up the money. Don't wait for the time when you think life gonna be on pause and you gonna finally have the opportunity to get all your ducks in a row, because that shit ain't happening, because life don't stop till you die. So just leave now. Set that boundary. You don't like that where you live at don't have no good freaking grocery stores. There's liquor stores every 10 feet. It's a whole bunch of bullshit everywhere. You don't like that? Change the situation. Hey, shit, help them people out. Like, what the fuck is the problem? We know the system is trying to suppress, right? Like, don't take it all personally. Set the boundaries. Do something about it. Change the situation. You don't like your relationship. This motherfucker make you mad most of the time, and you happy the other third of the time. Like, oh, if you got thoughts about your person that you sleep with at night, and they ain't good thoughts all the time, ooh, you don't need to be in that relationship. You need to be gone. Like, really think about that. If you're thinking about how much you hate and can't stand the person you spending your time with, if your relationship ain't on an up and up 24/7, you need to leave. That is crazy if you think about it. Like, really think about it. Oh, you having not loving kind thoughts about your man or your woman? You ain't thinking fucking butterflies and hearts and rainbows and skinny dipping all the time? You might want to look into that. Like, why you don't feel this love? Like, I've learned so much about myself and about what relationships are supposed to be like. And it's like, there should never be a down moment. If your heart is loving, relationships should never be in a down moment. And when I say that, we can have a disagreement and neither of us take it personally. And guess what? I still love you anyway. Okay? Like, if that mind of mine isn't in constant fucking love with you all the time, that's a problem. And vice versa. It should never be a downtime. We should never be going to bed angry, because I love you regardless. When I set boundaries, if you are doing something to me that is assaulting my well-being, my physicality and spirituality and my emotional and mental health, if you're doing something to me to not make this feel good, then that means I didn't set a boundary. And now I'm literally sleeping with the enemy, because nothing should be around me at any given moment that doesn't make me feel good. That's like me disrespecting myself, right? Like, think about that. So boundaries are so important. And once I realized how fucking important they were and how much they changed my life, I was like, oh my God, when I was talking to God and, just kind of deliberating through this, it was like, tell them to spread the message on setting boundaries and why it is so important. It is for your own well-being. It is for the betterment of your life. Like, this is some life-changing shit, for real. Setting boundaries. You don't hurt or harm anyone, but you protected yourself. Like, come on, guys. I'm breaking it down really, really easy, right? You set boundaries for your own well-being. And when you set these boundaries, I'm telling you, your life will change. And please, when you make the changes to whatever isn't feeling good currently in your life, and then your life actually changed, please let me know. I'm telling you, this is life-changer shit, for real. But you can't be fearful. If something isn't making you feel good, and I have to say this repeatedly because it's not like we got world peace right now. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm talking about this shit, because this is what's way more important than any movie that came out or any game that's on the fucking TV. Like, what we talking about here, the world is not at peace. People are unhappy and not in a good way, and people are trying to dominate and control. And it's like, why we talk about sports, y'all? Like, are y'all crazy? It's hysterical to me. That's why my conversation be limited with people. Because if you ain't talking about what I'm talking about, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Okay? Because I be talking for God. And like, this conversation be good. Right? Like, it be so good. And it's like, I just want what he want. World peace. Thank God it's a lot of beautiful people on this planet, a lot of light workers that are helping with the cause, but we still in suffering. There's people still suffering around the world and their needs aren't met. And I think that's pretty important. I don't know if y'all know that shit is going on in the world. Because they got y'all real distracted. Like, so distracted that's not even a thought. When that's the biggest fucking issue, that literally is the biggest topic at hand. Fucking world peace, okay? That should be blasted on the news 24/7 if we gonna talk about something. It should be that constantly, 24/7, 24/7. What's the mission? Make shit better. What's the mission? Make shit better. What's the mission? Make shit better. That's what they should be talking about. Instead, they got y'all distracted with bullshit. Little boys and girls having fucking temper tantrums and just, don't got they shit under control and trying to control. And it's like, I don't waste my energy with the news. First of all, I'm just having a major suggestion that they only talk about one thing: how to make shit better. Like, that's it. And so it feels good to be in such wonderful energy of really, really believing in that shit. Like, ever since I was a little girl, I knew it was bad shit in the world. And it was just like, it need to be peaceful. Like, what's so fucking hard? It's setting boundaries. That's what it is, on what you're going to tolerate and not what you're going to tolerate in any given situation. It is life-changing to set boundaries. And then you be a fucking angel for God, a light worker. And then you focus on the only thing that really matters is educating others to be their best version, because I ain't trying to hurt you. I'm trying to help you, because I be in a state of bliss all the time because my heart is filled with love, because I have set boundaries that, peace feels good to me. I don't like bad shit. I don't like the way that feels. So let me promote peace. Let my life be about that. Fuck everything else. Because nothing else matters outside of that. Like, I have my own peace, but, it would be better for everyone to have peace. And I travel around the world and I see suffering in all different languages. And I have my messages and I say what I say to whoever I have to say it to. And I come on and then I try to say it to the world, like through the internets. I be fumbling with technology and shit because I do not try to be caught up in it. I know it's useful, but I be like, I don't want to be sucked in because it's a distraction. I just want to post the messages for God. That's it. I just want to talk about peace because no other topic really is important. If we gonna be honest with ourselves, like think about it. It's football and the Super Bowl, and the Orange Bowl and fucking Strawberry Bowls and all the distractions they got lined up all throughout the years. All these things really important than, all the homeless people on the street, all the corruption. Like, come on. Is anything more important than talking about peace? Is it the fucking Netflix? Huh? Is it Disney Plus? Is it what is more important than talking about peace? Fucking Grammys? This shit is crazy. Like, real life be crazy for me. Sometimes I be like, oh my God. Like when you see it, when you see the bullshit, oh, this is tears of love because I can see the bullshit and I'm trying to help you see the bullshit that I ain't weird because I am love and peace, okay? I come up here and I talk about the only thing that fucking matters is peace. Because if you got peace, you're in a safe place. Your children are fed, you are fed, you feel happy. I'm talking about overall peace. Is your environment like peace, right? Is your family members at peace? What is all their suffering about? What is all the suffering about? Like, let's pay attention to that, because the suffering that everyone is going through is because they didn't set boundaries with themselves and what they're going to tolerate and not going to tolerate. So I come up here and I talk about peace for you, peace for yourself, peace within. And it's going to wake you the fuck up, but you got to set boundaries. And then you're going to see that nothing is more important than what I'm talking about. It ain't the fucking Grammys and the Oscars. Okay? It's not all of the illusion. On the news, if they ain't talking about peace, what the fuck is they talking about? And why are they talking about it? Because isn't peace important? Like, oh my God, I don't give a fuck about a deficit. I don't care about what one person said, about another person said. Just do your job. Guess what? We ain't got to talk. Politicians, don't even speak. In fact, let that be a law. Let it be a rule. Because all this talking got you talking about nothing and y'all ain't doing nothing. So shut the fuck up. Be quiet. Read over the papers. Changes and then for right. That's all a distraction. Who cares what somebody's saying? Pay attention to what they doing though. Set boundaries. Oh, I don't like that. I'm not going to tolerate that. Nah, I need to make a change to myself, because you know what? She right. They talking about some new car from Chrysler that just dropped on the TV. When if you are a box of important information, what we talking about ain't important currently. World peace is important. Loving ourselves is important, because we wouldn't be trying to fucking oppress other people. Even the tyrants ain't got peace inside. Like, why are you trying to control somebody? Why are you showing that you ain't really strong? That you gotta control and manipulate populations? Like, why you ain't being strong? Like, it's so easy to push buttons and want to drop bombs and take guns and harm someone because it's, but like, it's hard to get control over yourself and not react foolishly. And really think and consider your actions. Because every action that causes a reaction of negativity and hate, that is self-loathing, and that is inner hate. When you can try to forcefully harm someone else. And we got to set boundaries on, we ain't going to tolerate that. I don't like to be harmed physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Why would anybody else like or want that? That does not feel good, I'm telling you. You know it. You know it when you don't have a feel good feeling. I'm speaking the truth, because if everybody had a feel good feeling inside, I mean, like every being on this planet, we will be in peace. Like literally. Because now we're not fighting against this feeling. We're not trying to harm and oppress. We just trying to fucking be loved, because this shit feel good. I'm telling you, it overwhelms me. And I just cry because like he's filled me with so much love that all I want to talk about is peace, and make it make sense to you that whatever you're doing and speaking about, if you ain't no light worker, if you ain't about peace and love, then what exactly are you doing again? Like we really got to be thinking about what we doing. What's our motivations that's driving our actions, you know? Like setting boundaries is super duper important, friends. Like this is life-changing stuff. You gotta honor and respect and protect your mental, your physical, your spiritual, your emotional health for your well-being. You're not harming or hurting nobody by protecting yourself and honoring yourself, right? This is how you remain your authentic self and have integrity with yourself, because you be like, I'm not tolerating no bullshit from no one, from nobody. You got to set boundaries, and you got to pour into yourself and know that you are worthy of not accepting disrespect in any form or fashion. Like that don't make no sense. When you ain't trying to hurt nobody, right? You ain't trying to hurt nobody driving Pepsi Cola trucks, right? Or are you? You hurting somebody? Cause that's poison. That's even that's harming somebody. Like we gotta stand up for something. We gotta set boundaries on what we're gonna talk about. We can't be like we good people, but we having caveats that aren't in alignment with, honoring yourselves and one another. We can't be just doing shit for the money, because then that's how we lose our soul, right? Because now we got caveats on not respecting other people in different forms, by serving McDonald's, by working in the factories that make the Taco Bell meat shit, like that working in fast food places that are providers of fucking medicine, like that we are disrespecting the people that we love by doing that. And we supposed to be loving one another, right? Like why we fighting one another? Why is there war? And peace is like way more important than that shit. Like that means we got to set boundaries. Look, this is the message. I'm always happy to share whatever I get from God, because it's always pertaining to, friends, being your best self. Like, I don't want to keep that shit a secret. I want to tell you so you can improve your life. Okay? Because mine has totally, I'm all the way up. Like, I'm so fucking happy I learned how to set some boundaries. And hopefully you just learn too. And if you know somebody that's in some not feel good energy, you might want to share this video so they can learn how to set boundaries too. Thank you so much for watching, friends. I love you. I love you. I love you. Bye.